Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, it's episode 666, which means that the devil is on my shoulder. And he watched as I incorrectly loaded the wrong LUTs for this intro sequence, and he only got off my shoulder when we actually started the fly through. So I'm sorry about this, creator, the wrong LUT at the moment. I did find a really nice asset, which is probably how the devil managed to get up to me. Now, if you want to be protected from the devil, there is only one thing that you can do, and there is a shield button on your screen now. If you would like to hit it, you'll be protected from all things satanic for the rest of today's show. That's right, hitting the like button really does protect you from the devil and will save you from going to the pit. To the pit, I tell you! Thanks for watching. Today's map is Serona by gomark, and I think you're going to like it more than I do. And I like it. I think you're going to like it more. There you go. There's your start square. Start square is pretty good, pretty solid. Lots of build space. In fact, loads of build space in that start square. What about the resources? The resources, very, very usable indeed. Like that, all centered in 25 tiles too, which suits for the vanilla style player. Off to the workshop. Mass transit is required. Park life and after dark are only required for certain props. We've got network extensions 2 on the go as well. We'll be using the realistic 1.5.5 temperate theme and the relight film LUT. There's a little bit of reading to do there, and a few of those things aren't strictly required. They are just for the aesthetics. It's up to you. So if you want to have a lighter map, you can. Now, the map does look really nice. There's lots of places to build. This is why I think you're gonna like it, because it's a builder's map. There's lots of room to build, to spread. We've got islands, we've got inlets and whatever that are going to force you to change the shape of your city. And we've got some very nice intersections as well, such as this one, with which there's absolutely nothing wrong at all with. So you can get on and everything's slick and smooth and free. And lots of trees. Lots and lots and lots of trees. So yeah, I can't believe 666 episodes. I vaguely remember recording episode 1. I was just dim and distant past now. Occasionally I go back and watch it and I see how far the show has come in the last 2.5 years. And it's come a long way. Standards of maps over the last 2.5 years as well have improved so much that I have to keep reassessing and redefining. And another lovely intersection here. Look at this. Look at how slick and smooth that is. Really very nice. What's going on here? It's the glory hole, the Park Life glory hole. We've got a floating stone there. We've got a floating stone. We've got a rock that is floating. Nice attempt at trying to hide the glory hole, but you failed. Go, Mark. Anyway, down here we're heading into Start Square now. You can say Start Triangle territory here. And, ooh, like it. Lots of trees around here as well. You probably want to bulldoze some of them before you start building in this area to keep the tree count down. Then over here we have that hellish asset of the day. Right, now this I did find, I saw this when I first started up on the game, actually, first time on the workshop. Found the Door to Hell by Migeli. I really liked it. I was going to do a whole build based around it and never got around to it, but I think it's a really cute little, devilish asset. Factoids, because factoids. The duck-billed platypus and the spiny anteater are the world's only egg-laying mammals. Which leads me to a vision. Can you imagine if other mammals were to lay eggs and to sit on nests, such as the domestic cow? Can you see it? A tiger. Or even human beings. Can you imagine? Please, 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 no visuals. No. Don't send images. I don't want GIFs. Door to Hell by Migeli. Today's asset of the day. Please, if you find any pictures of women laying eggs, they will be immediately deleted. I'm not having it. Can't be having it. It's one thing suggesting it, another thing seeing it. Ooh. Anyway, we've got a few of these little rocks here, which will be floating if you've put on your prop snapping. So maybe not a detailer's map, but I don't feel it necessarily has to be. This does lead itself very nicely to be a 100% vanilla style build. Although, I don't know, not really sold. We've got a few little detailed areas, so I guess maybe not. Like up here, we've got a little feature area. I do like a feature area. There's a feature area up here. It's like a little picnic area. Now, I find it quite funny. I do find it quite funny. You'll enjoy this. Right, so first of all, it looks okay at first glance. It looks all right, doesn't it? I think. And then over here, we've got our campfire. We sit down here burning and... Oh, hang on. You're burning the rubbish. You're just burning rubbish. Okay. Fine, let's... the smouldering burning of the eyes fire, that one. I mean, this is a nice little campfire. That's much nicer. Very sweet, a little covered area. I don't know why the bins aren't on fire. I think if you're burning everything, you might as well be burning the bins as well. A little bit of parking up here as well, which at first glance, I don't mind a little bit of rough and ready parking in rough and ready areas. But we do have one bay, thanks car for whizzing past. We have one bay up here, which would be a nightmare to actually park on. Just need a little bit of smoothing to make that one work. But it's not hideously bad. We have a little bit of funny detailing down here as well. We've got the abandoned car and the non-terrain conforming grasses that hover above it. Just a little bit like that. It's not horrendous, is it? It's not. Nobody's going to notice. Now you're going to see something really weird in a second. Actually, really weird would be we're going to go around this mountain in a second, but this pass through the mountain. This road stands out on the map as being, well, different. Maybe it's a toll road, but in which case we need a toll booth at each end, I say. I'm not sure why we've got these walls on either side, the sound barriers. Are they to stop rockfalls from going onto the road? I doubt that would work. Anyway, it just stands out as being a different. We're going to go around this rock here and come across to another little feature area, which I think could be a little bit better. It's a nice idea. The viewing platform down here. Come down there and look over the bay. What a great view. Great view. But I think it could be better. And I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you how I think it would be better. Right, what we're going to do is going to grab Move It, because Move It is the essential tool for detailers. And I'm just going to push that out a little bit and move this across here, straighten that up, and that's it. That's all I'm doing to it. So now you can still park in that area, walk straight up to the viewing platform, and you get an even better view because you're now up and over, rather than being able to have people stood in front of your telescope thing. I just think that's better. Probably need to move the signs as well, but I didn't notice them. That's fine. It's fine. Doesn't matter. Just showing you how I would do it, or how I'd make tweaks to it. Down the dirt track here to a little crossover bridge here over a little river. This river, I think could do a little bit of foliage along the edges. So when we get to the end and you see, oh, why have you shorted in BonBon on the detailing score? Well, there's a lot of foliage over here, but nothing along the rivers. And I think the rivers is where there'll be more life. Down to this junction, that's the buildable area up there. We're going to ignore that for now. We're going to come this way instead, down to a roundabout. Roundabout, obviously, we've got a lot of crosswalks on it because it's not highway, it's a standard 3-lane road. I would upgrade that to highway if I was you, and we'll get rid of those crosswalks, no problem. This intersection here looks really nice. Only little problem I found with this one, and if you can call it a little problem. Okay, right, so we're going to drive over this road here, this bridge here. I want to get down to that dirt track underneath. You see that dirt track underneath, right? So we just need to get down to that intersection over there. Right, so over the bridge, and we'll need to cross across the top here, around the rock, a loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop, and join up with the highway and the freeway. And do we turn off here? No, turning off here will only take us off to the tunnels. And oh, that bridge again. So that's how to get back over the bridge. Fine. So we'll carry on over the highway here, and then that just takes it off to the distance that way. So we can't get to that dirt road from the bridge. Not a huge issue. Not a huge issue, but I'm just like, might as well point it out. I noticed it, so I'm pointing it out. Off to the fog, which means let's have a look at the rail. And the rail is between the two roads at the moment. And you're going to see something that I really like in a moment. I really, really like. I like the way that the rail emerges. See the way that the roads drop back down. The rail stays up, The rail doesn't have to change any elevation at all. It stays at a good height all the way, and then the land comes up to meet it. That is really nice work. And then down here to the first of a few locations that we can have stations put in place, ready-made. Past, oh, what's this? Well sung, everybody. Well sung. Extra detailing here as well. Oh, okay then. It's everybody's favourite factory. Right, catenaries. Now, we've got trees hanging into the catenaries in various locations along here. It's not the worst. Of course, the easy way to fix this is with the catenary replacer mod and just to switch them off. Or if you really do want catenaries because you're in part of the world where you have them, then obviously you'll just need to move a few of the trees back or just not care. Not caring works. I don't have a problem if you don't care. It's fine. It's absolutely fine with me. I probably wouldn't care much either. But there you go. I've got to, if I don't mention it now, then you'll say, hey, why did you have a go at my map? You put me up on my map. The rail is just slick all the way. We're getting to a point now where we're going to see a little bit of hillage. And this is where we're going to get a little bit of steepness. It's not really steep though. It's, again, within the levels of acceptability for the game that you, without looking at this, you wouldn't notice that we are going up quite as steeply as we are coming up here. So yes, let's go down to ground level and have a little look how that looks from the rail level. We'll join up with this junction here, and then we're going to start climbing up, and it is relatively gentle. And something like this I could probably deal with. I could very much deal with over a shortish spell, because obviously once the train needs to get up a bit of speed to be able to handle this kind of line. The longer this hill goes on though, the harder it is for the train to keep traction with those tracks. Remember, it's steel on steel, and only a tiny portion of the steel is actually in contact with the rail itself, unlike a car which has rubber against tarmac, so it's got good grip, and it's just got good traction, of course. And a lot more of the rubber is in contact with the road than the rail, as with the wheels of a train. There, does that explain it? In case you're wondering what I'm talking about. If it doesn't, then that's best I can do, because we're almost at the edge of the map, which means it's about time now for that intermission. I wonder what we're going to have today.
Do you have trouble knowing how to start a new city? Do you need to return to the absolute basics just this once? Don't worry, I won't tell. Then you need BonBonB's Beginner's Guide to Your First City. Click the information button now.
And so back to Serona by gomark. Shipping routes. They're fine actually. I think you're going to like these. These are pleasing, because every time that you get to a point where there could be a problem, there is no problem. Well, let's find our first problem point. Here. Nah, that's no problem. How about here? That's no problem. How about this bridge? Oh, well, it's high enough, but is it wide enough? Possibly not. We'll come back to that bridge. We will come back. We'll do a little bit of move it on it as well. And around here, is there a problem over here? No problem. Everything is fine. There's no problem. Water flow. We have a river that runs past and through, or edges through, the start square. The river itself is pleasing. Doesn't have an awful lot of momentum, but it is definitely pleasing, and I think probably workable. But down here, there's hardly any motion at all, actually. So, are we? Yeah, that water's heading, vaguely in that direction. There may be a little bit of backup with the water, possibly. It's hard to tell without testing. It's potentially an issue. Potentially. I don't think it will be, but there we are. Right, here's your overview of the map as a whole. We've got lots of items we can build on, lots of flat build plane within 25 tiles to work with. We've got these hills here. Now, this theme, I've got to say, with these themes, I think the hills look very much like a oil painting, rather than, no, that's called a realistic, but there's something oil painting-y about them. Also notice there is no foliage up here. Now I know it keeps the tree count down, but I think I'd rather see a little bit more foliage in the hills, a little bit less on these plains, because this is where you're going to be building. And although it's fine, it gives you a nice scenic area to build, it takes up tree count. So you're better off actually demolishing them, deleting the trees. Just so many trees in the buildable areas. Not a huge problem, really not a problem at all. But if you're wanting to plant trees down as well afterwards, you probably will want to be doing that. That's your start square again. Have a little look at the start square. Well, what more can we have a look at? There's plenty of things going on with this map, like this castle. I have no issues with it. I think as castles go, this is standard. It's pretty good, I guess. It's basic. I have no issues with that. Its location's all right. Like, we've even got a spring up here. You can see where they would get their water from here as well, even though it's a little bit surprisingly high. A little bit of water dribbling over the edge there. Again, that's not a big problem because rivers don't always stay within their banks, and springs can be a little bit creative. And then we've got some more of these rocks that will be floating as soon as you click on the prop snapping, which I can't do for you, and I wish I could. I wish it's one of those mods that you can switch on and off in game, so I can show you how that would look. Let's have a look at this bridge. Now this bridge is fine. We're going back to the bridge. I've just noticed these. Some more of these are the standing stones. These will also float with prop snapping switched on. So again, if you're playing detailing, then you're probably not going to thank these ones. You may want to load the map up, delete them, save the map, and then switch on prop snapping without them actually in game. Okay, this bridge, let's make it a little bit more ship friendly, shall we? Just make it this central pillar. What's the word I'm looking for? Central pass. I need to make the central pass wider. There we go. So I'm just going to move these across. I don't know how this is going to look when we go down to river level again. Let's have a little look. It's okay. It's a little bit wonky. It's a little bit wonky. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bit of playing with the heights of these of the bridge. So we grab that post there, bring it look from here. Is that looking? That's all right. Over here, this one needs to be shunted across a little bit more. Not too much. That can come across a bit as well. And again, bump, 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 bump. Just raise that up a fraction. There we go. So now ships can go through there with plenty of clearance on both sides. I think it's aesthetically alright. It's not the most beautiful bridge in the world, but it's aesthetically alright. I'd be happy with that. We've got some BonBon islands around the outside. Nothing I particularly want to settle on because there's no foliage on any of them. They're very boring. And we've got a mile long, I don't know if it's a mile long, but it's a beach. We've got Ronix's waves coming in. This is a lovely asset. Animated wave action coming up onto a not too pretty beach, but my part of the world, this is what the beaches look like. They're really, really, when the tide goes out, you get a bit of sand, but yeah, a believable beach for me, possibly just a bit too straight. Anyways, what are you thinking on this map? Are you liking it more than I'm liking it? Because I am liking it, but I think you're liking it more. So is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? That your vote really does count. We use it in the Viewer's Choice Top 10 at the end of the month. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. I think you will have it in there. I do. I think you'll have it in there. Somewhere there or thereabouts. And well, even though I know this isn't part of the map itself, I'm going with this as the thumbnail. Aesthetically, I think it's good. I think it's good. I think it's low 4-star territory. I don't think we're anywhere near 5 stars. I think it deserves a little bit more than 3. I'm giving it 4. Detailing, generally it's very, very good. I think there's a few areas that just hold it back a little bit. I'm going to go high 3 stars for this one. 3 stars pushing 4. Very, very close. Very, very close. A gameplay potential. Highly playable. Highly, highly playable. Slight question mark on the possibility of water flow. And of course, if you want to play as a detailer's map, there will be things you'll need to remove first, like the standing stones and stuff like that. But if you want to play as a vanilla map, then it's definitely high 4 for vanilla style map, because we do have obviously custom assets in there. So there we go, Serona by gomark. I genuinely think that you like this more than I do, and I like it. So I think you really like it. Do you really like it? Or do you really like it? Do you really like it? Or do you hate it? Be honest, I'm sure gomark will appreciate your honesty as well. So, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. Join me tomorrow for another map in the What Map series. I've got an extra special show tomorrow night as well. Look out for that one. It's either going to go super viral, or it's not going to get watched at all. I reckon 100 of you will definitely watch it. Beyond that, well, we'll have to wait and see. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. I've been BonBonB, and you've been very welcome.